In my video today, I'm going to be talking about psychological factors within the talent pathway. Firstly, what social skills can children or young athletes develop from sport? Taking part in sport can help young athletes develop socially in many ways. This includes gaining and developing friendships, developing leadership skills, eliminates loneliness, and provides opportunity for social interaction. Furthermore, sport can also help young athletes socially by increasing children's sporting and physical knowledge, and sport provides role models for children who strive to be like them and use them for motivation, and in addition, sport can also break ethnic barriers between young children. These social factors, as well as many more, are the reasons why it is important to get young children involved in sport. However, one of the biggest social factors about getting children involved in sport and developing them into the best athlete they can become is their parents. So what impact do parents have on children's social development? Firstly, the social activities of a child's parent not only impact the child's sport involvement, they also predict future sport activity choices, as stated in Fredericks and Eccles 2005. In addition to this, the beliefs and social activities of parents, especially during the early stages of a child's sport participation, significantly influence their child's sport-related beliefs and can create gender differences, as stated in Eccles and Harold 1991. And Fredericks and Eccles 2002. Why are parents important in a young athlete's talent development? Firstly, parents are primarily responsible for initiating children's engagement in sport. Parents for a young child are often a powerful role model, and this means that parents have a high influence of the motivation orientation of their child, as stated in Winner 2000. Furthermore, a parent's behaviour towards their child's sport often influences their enjoyment in sport. Moreover, parents are vital for a young athlete in sport because parents provide transport for a child to and from their training and matches, and without them they won't be able to attend and play the sports they do. In addition, this can mean parents having to change their working days and employment around their child's sport, so they can be there to transport them to and from events that their child needs, and be there to encourage them and cheer them on. Furthermore, this can also lead to parents having to rearrange holidays around their child's sporting events and when their sports season starts and finishes. And finally, a parent may also be forced to restrict their own social life through using their time to take their child to and their sporting events, and having to get up early on Saturday and Sunday mornings, and also through the funds required to participate in sport, as stated in White et al. 2015. Now let's look at a young athlete's perspective on how a parent influences them within sport. Firstly, research from Taylor and Collins 2015 and Knight, Neely and Holt 2011 states an athlete would say an over-involved parent may cause them to feel indebated, and this then leads to stress and a lack of motivation in sport, so young athletes don't want to be pressured to play sport and be the best. This is because at a young age they just want to play sport for fun, as this is the primary reason why children take part in sport, as stated in Green 2005. Therefore, a young athlete would enjoy sport more if their parents are positively involved and satisfied with their level of participation. This means that a young athlete's participation is strongly influenced by the motivational climate advocated by parents on the sidelines and at home. This means they don't want their parents shouting abuse on sidelines or trying to overcoach them. They want positive encouragement and supportive parents. Furthermore, how can a child and parent's identity affect their talent development? Firstly, a child's identity is often shaped by their experiences. When children have positive experiences, they develop an understanding of themselves and feel a sense of belonging. In addition, as children are developing their sense of identity, they explore aspects of it, such as physical, social, and emotional, through play and relationships. Also, for a child, having a sense of group identity as well as personal identity helps the child feel a sense of belonging, as stated in Tabason and Menner, 1999. Furthermore, a parent's identity can have a big impact on a child's development and adds pressure to that athlete. For example, Kasper Schmeichel always had pressure from a young age to become a top goalkeeper because of the success of his father, Peter Schmeichel. This put high expectation on the young Danish international, as his identity was almost picked for him because of the pressures he had on him. Now he is a top goalkeeper in his prime. Because of the identity of his father, he is still linked and pressured to join Manchester United, as that is where his father was so successful and is expected to follow his identity. This is an example of an athlete psychologically coping with the pressure. However, there have been many who haven't, as there are not too many footballers you see with fathers who are as successful as them. Therefore, young athletes who have parents with big or famous identities struggle to make it, despite the biological advantages and financial benefits. So there are psychological reasons why these athletes don't make it, and we need to find coping strategies for this, which I have spoken about in another video. In addition, how can a family structure affect a child's behaviour? Firstly, children with disciplined parents will have had the child used to a routine and structure from a young age. Therefore, their child will adapt easily to a rigid training program when they reach a professional level. Moreover, children with supportive parents will have been there for their children through all setbacks. So the athlete will know even if they fail, they will always have the support network to fall back on. In addition, studies have suggested that family members may influence the involvement and achievement of athletes in sport more than coaches, as researched in Bloom 1985, Helsted 1995, and Woolgull and Power 1993. Furthermore, research shows parental encouragement and enjoyment of their children's physical activity was significantly related to perceived attraction and competence of their children in physical activities, as stated in Brustad 1993. Moreover, how can sibling relationships affect talent development? Firstly, siblings are often how athletes build up their competitive side by competing with their siblings at a young age. Studies have shown that siblings can directly influence development by acting as social partners, role models, and foils, as stated in McHale et al. 2012. In addition, within sport, research has highlighted the positive impact siblings can have on athletic development, as research in Taylor, Collins, and Carson 2017. Furthermore, in an athlete's development, parents provide one crucial social resource that is a big reason if their child becomes a top athlete or not, and that is financial resources. Money is now a big factor in getting children involved in sport and developing within their sport, and this is provided by parents, and often parents have to pay more financially in their child's sport as they get older and as they reach higher levels of achievement. Furthermore, children who have wealthy parents are typically provided with more opportunities within sport and the best opportunity to develop rather than a child who has come from a poorer background. In addition, here is a chart that shows children aged between 6 and 12 participation in sport with their household income. This chart shows how big the increase of participation is from children who have a household income of under £25,000 and children with a household income of over £100,000. Furthermore, the difference in percentage is increasing as the gap between children with a household income of under £25,000 and children with a household income of over £100,000 in 2013 was 23%. The same stat in 2016 was 32%. The social factor of household income is hugely impacting children's participation in sport, and this will mean a talented athlete from a poor background will not be able to participate or be provided with the same opportunities as another athlete with a richer background. Further evidence to suggest social factors provide wealthy children with better opportunities in sport is that 7% of the UK's population attend private school, and the children who attend private school have families with a high amount of household income. From this, 37% of British medal winners at London 2012 attended a private school. This shows that these athletes, who are now some of the best across Britain, came from families with lots of household income, and that's why they were provided with opportunities they were. Furthermore, here is a chart of where Scotland's athletes went to school done by the BBC. The chart shows that almost 1/4 of Scotland's elite athletes attended private school, and 2/3 attended the top 20 wealthiest state schools. The biggest takeaway from this graph, however, is that the fact there is very little to no elite athletes who attended a state school not in the top 40% of wealthiest schools in the country. From this evidence, it is clear we need to eliminate the divide in wealth in developing a top athlete, and this can come from Sport England providing cheaper options and opportunities within sport, and helping children and young athletes have more opportunities to participate and play at higher levels within sport. In addition, what effects does a young athlete's birthplace have on their talent development? According to Coty 2006, the optimal size for an athlete's development is between 50,000 and 100,000 people. This is because there needs to be the right difference for an athlete of facilities versus population, as a more intimative environment of smaller cities is more conducive to experiencing early success, which intrinsically drives for more training, whereas a more supportive and facilitative psychosocial environment for early development. Furthermore, young athletes from areas with less than 2,500 people are significantly disadvantaged in their talent development. This was shown in a study of best populations to become an elite golfer, with the best odds in cities being between 50,000 and 100,000, and the worst odds being cities with over 1 million people.